Hey everybody, welcome to Gideon Stuff. Today, this is just kind of a random video. We're going to be taking apart and cleaning up this knife here. This is the Kizer slicer. That's what it's called. Do you hear that? So, I just got back from a chemistry lab. I'm a little bit exhausted. And I just want to do something kind of relaxing. So adjust the camera for a little bit today. And yeah, it was more relaxing than just taking a knife apart. So I've had this knife now for about a week, and I've been carrying it a lot. A lot. I really do like this knife. And it's interesting that I've been carrying it as much as I have been because I've also received the Civivi riffle recently. And yeah, I've had this guy in my pocket more. But as you can hear, maybe, let's see if the microphone picks this up. Hear that grittiness? Yeah, this guy went with me to some dirty places. Not like that. Get your head out of the gutters. But, yeah, I carried him some places, got a little bit of sand, scuffed up the clip already. But, yeah. So we're going to clean him out, just kind of talk about him, and, yeah. Let's go ahead and get right to it. So this is Kizer's very first lockback knife, and they've done really good on this knife, I must say. This G10 is very nice. The blade here, you can see it's crowned, so it just gives it a little bit of a feeling of niceness too. Looking at N690 blade steel, on this particular version, they have another one with carbon fiber and S35VN, so that's pretty cool. One of the things about lockbacks that is nice is that they are pretty simple to take apart. So let's get right to it. I'm going to guess that this is a T8. It is indeed. By the way, already started taking this guy apart, but he was perfectly centered, no blade play or anything. This knife also, something that's kind of unique about him is he has a half stop. Unlike a lot of modern lockbacks, like, I have a modern lock. Here we go. Like the Cold Steel 4-back Scout, and yes, it's a triad lock, but it's basically the same thing as a lockback. Ooh, this guy might need to clean out too. I don't care so much about this one though. But there's no half stop. The blade just, it has full motion here around the pivot. This guy you might have seen while I was opening him earlier. Let's see if I can do it now. I have the screw out, but stop, and then it locks like that. So pretty cool. So there's the pivot out. I'm going to go ahead and guess that the rest of these screws are T6s. Maybe they're T8s, actually. No, these are going to be T6s. Yeah, those are T6s. It's a shame. But it's not a huge deal. It's not something that's unheard of or anything. So the pivot was on this side. I'm pretty sure the clip screws are what's holding this knife together on this side too. So let's go ahead and just take the clip out. Pretty sure the clip screws are the body screws. What's interesting is this knife actually does not have a reversible pocket clip, but the pocket clip on this knife itself is excellent. A little bit of blue Loctite on the screws, that's a-okay. So yeah, you can see the dust there, but yeah, you can see that the clip has a spot milled out only on one side, which I think is kind of a shame because lockbacks are very, very friendly to both users. Ooh, we have a lot of oil in here. And we have another screw here, which is a T8. Okay. Get in there, screwdriver. There we go. Thank you. Just gently nudge this guy up. Pretty tightly fit, which is nice. Yeah, get under there. And now just kind of move back. Very tightly fit. Full steel liners. This knife weighs about 5 ounces, so, but as you can see, it is does have some milling. And actually, this is why I have to clean this guy out, because dirt got in the, got down the handle and it got through these holes and between the liners and the scales, which on a knife like, let's bring out our Formax again. So you can see, yeah, he's kind of dirty in there, but there's no milling in the liner, so nothing get between the liners and the scales, which is something that I appreciate in a work knife. But yeah, okay, so that's pretty tight. Pause the video while I get this guy apart. Okay, wow. So we got it apart. It kind of just exploded apart after a little bit. So yeah. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at what this guy is going on with here on the inside. As you can see here, this is a pretty heavy-duty back spring here. So the way a backlock works, for anyone who doesn't know, is this part here goes in there like that, right? And of course it's on here though. We're going to pin that back down. Man, that is a strong spring. That is stout. Oh my gosh. So this falls into place behind the blade. So on the inside of this knife, we see that we have a bronze washer on this side, and on this side we have a bronze washer and a Teflon washer. Okay, and yeah, there is a little bit of gunk in there, but so let's look at this. Let's see what gives us that half stop. So it's this thing here. So you see, here's our lock. The knife is closed. It's like this. As you open it, the knife catches there. That's your half stop. Then it pivots all the way open, and that slots into place there, and that's what provides the lockup. So let's get this guy, focus camera. So yeah, that's what this guy looks like on the inside. This is pretty heavy duty stuff. Let's get this guy cleaned up and put back together. Okay, so I'm doing my cleaning. These things are pretty nasty. This is a little bit weird. 3 bronze washers and a Teflon. I'm betting it has something to do with sintering. We'll see. All right, so some more important notes. So you can see here on the scale, there's a little area here milled out for this little pin to go in. However, this little pin, see that groove cut in the top? Let's get it out. Yeah, that little groove there. That fits into one of the other scales. And so one of these scales cannot go over this pin, while the other one can. So scoot these around. Pin sits in there. All we can see is that scale will not go on there. So let go. So we grab this one. And ta-da, slides on perfectly. I think I got all the gunk out of there. Let's hope so. I ended up having to take out the screws on the other side too, but all right, let's get back to it. Also, as a little bit of a warning, these screws back here that hold in these posts, Once you take out the other side, these are free spinning, so but they're not that hard to deal. Just put your finger there and you can screw them in. All right, like that. And actually, might as well go with the whole thing. Anyways, so we have this section here reassembled. So for back there, these pins, this is the back spring that gives the knife its lock. So lanyard hole, lines up with a lanyard hole, and these little things go over these pins. And this little pin here, it's kind of like a stop pin, it goes in there to give it a place to. Come on, get on there. There we go. Gives it a place to pivot on. And you know what? Maybe we want to do it the other way first. So this thing here, this is what really does need to pivot. It's like that. So let's see if we get that on there. Again, the spring provides pressure to it, so it needs to be, but not quite like that. Oh my gosh, getting that piece stuck down on there. Jeez. Alright, have we found the balance? Struck the right spot. Oh, you stay down, you stay down. I'm trying to disassemble as many knives as I can under the camera so I get used to it. It's a little bit awkward having my hands further away from my eyes, if that makes sense. No, not like that. Now we're going to have to bring it closer. Okay, so now we have our movement there. We just need to get the blade up in there. So we do have a D-shaped pivot. So let's get you out of the way for just a sec so you can sit on the pivot. And let's slide the pivot in there. There we go. Nice and snug. Push that bar down. Get on there. Alright, so I'm an idiot, and I apologize. Making you guys watch me be stupid. It's been a long day. It's been a rough day for me. And here I was like, oh, I'll sit down and do a nice, relaxing maintenance on a really cool knife. And it's not turning out to be that way. But we will carry on. So, I guess I just completely had a dumb moment. Forgot how to reassemble lockbacks. But let's go ahead and get just a little bit of lube there. Actually, get some on back here. I had a friend ask me, why do you use that Benchmade stuff? Why don't you have any KPL? Well, it's because I've had this for a long time and I'm just trying to use it up before I get anything else. But I'll get some KPL one of these days. All right. Double washer stack. Up this top one. And there's enough lube there to drown a horse. So that's always nice. Get this beautiful, beautiful blade in there. Okay. Me and my camera have some issues that we need to work out in regards to focusing. Stupid thing. All right, there we go. Coolio. And now, let's get the lock in place. Okay, so there we go. There's how it locks up, right? And so what we have here going on at the back is that this part here meets up perfectly with the back of this lock. So let's see if we can get those to slot in very nicely, or at least fairly nicely would be nice as well. But now we have something to push the lock down against, because this little arm here has to bend down to give it that spring tension. Or maybe it'd be better if I did it the other way. Go on out of there. Well, I just slide you out from under this guy, because this one gets stuck on there. Oh, man. Now that squishes down. Let's make sure we've got that all the way. Looks pretty good. Now, let's see if we can just kind of... I think I liked what I was doing before better. Let's go back to that. Alright, so we finally squeezed it back together the way it's supposed to be. What did it cost? Everything. Not just my fingers, jeez. Maybe I'm just tired today. Like I said, it's been a rough day. It's been not a great day for me, but I don't know, maybe I'm just tired. But this has seemed like a very this has seemed a little more complicated than other lockbacks I've taken apart. But again, maybe it's just me. Squeeze on there. Let's go ahead and get you fully open. And why are you not wanting to sit right? Doesn't look like that back piece is in all the way. Maybe I did not get this together quite right. That's a piece sticking up just a little too far. See, just a little focus. A little tiny gap, but I think that might be causing me some issues. We'll see. Oh, whoa. Might be a good idea to get some washers on there before we put him back together. Right? I think knives need washers, don't they? If you answered yes, then you're smarter than me. There we go. Yeah, we'll put a little bit right here. Just cause. Alright, so pivot. Snapped in. Oh, I snap in on these other ones. Let's see our lock here. We've got a little bit of crookedness. Okay, so here's what I did. I actually swapped the washer combination. I put one copper washer or one bronze washer with the Teflon on this side instead of this side, and it did indeed even things up. So that might be an issue with this knife, is you might have to make sure you get the washers in the right places. And yes, I know I'm double lubing this guy, but whatever. Does he need more lube? No, but guess what? He'll get some. And it's way too much. Woo! Okay. Is this gonna snap into place easier for me? No, maybe not. That really is frustrating. Ah, see, that's sticking up a little too much. Yeah, see. See that sticking up too much? And you can see it's It's uneven through there, so we have to refix it. Let's see if I fixed it. You know, I might not even post this video. I'm making myself look like an idiot. Doing a very, very good job making myself look like an idiot. Still not snapping down right. What are we missing? Still more of a gap back there than I would like. Ah, see the blades coming out again. Go way down there, bud. There we go. Push down, push down, push down. So yeah, backlogs aren't always the funnest thing just to put back together, but this is seeming exceptionally difficult. And again, that might just be me, but hey, it sounds like we're getting some snapping in, kind of, sort of. It's not aligning right now. Take him to half stop. So let's take him all the way to close, and that actually doesn't sound good. Is he hitting back there? He is. He's hitting back there just barely. That is not a good thing. Again, that blade keeps sliding out of place on me. I used to think I was good at taking apart lockbacks, but geez, this guy's really making me struggle. Very tight tolerances, which is nice. Actually, you know, this knife is built to standards of some kind. See, that's still not going on there. Actually, I just remembered we have this screw here. Maybe this is the key. Okay, that's still not snapping into place back here. It's probably because we're actually a little bit off. So let's loosen you up. Good, good. No. A little bit more. Okay, there we go. Now it looks like, is that one pin right there not lining up? Is that what our problem is? Is this guy here? Is he crooked? Okay, so we've identified the issue. And see the lock is off this way because it's not settling down all the way on this side. So you can see that you can still see the screw sticking up a little bit there, but not here. So yeah, now what you're all saying is, great, you found the issue. How are you going to fix it? Honestly, I don't know yet. I don't know why it's doing that. It's kind of weird. So what we're going to try and do is just not quite take it off, but kind of get it up a little bit. Scoot you over. This one get pushed all the way down. Keep this guy snug. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. So I've been taking this knife. I've just been fighting with this knife. And I'm starting to see some things I don't like at all. So see these screws here? So they go back here and look. See how that barrel splicer is just being twisted up as you're trying to push this down? Yeah, that's just terrible. That is ugly, 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 ugly. And this screw here is free spinning. This guy here is in place solid. This one here, yeah, it did that. Let's look at this screw. Oh man, oh man. I'll tell you one thing, if I keep this knife, I'm never taking it apart again. And here's the other issue, too. Oh, thank you, Lanyard Hole, for catching that. Kizer's warranty. Your Kizer products is guaranteed against defects in material and workmanship, and has a limited lifetime warranty to the original purchaser of the products. Okay. Repairs to your product performed by any source other than Kizer unconditionally voids the knife's warranty. So, yes, I've completely voided this knife's warranty by trying to take him apart and clean him and finding out that these things back here are causing issues. Because that is what's causing the issue for me. Is this guy here. You see, you want to just stick him in there. They're making it so that this thing doesn't sit right. It doesn't sit flat. And then when I do push it to sit flat, it pushes up on this guy in such a way that, see how this is nice and flat right now? And how when you look at it like this, focus. Anyways, it goes completely flat, whereas earlier what was happening was it was more like this, where it's like off at an angle. But now we've got it where it's like completely flat. And you know, this isn't actually the first problem I've had with something like this from Kizer. Let me get something. Here it is. So this is the Kizer Jungus. This is the first Kizer I ever bought. And it had the worst lock stick I have ever felt. The worst. And so one day I was using him and he wouldn't unlock, just would not unlock it. So I jammed it over real hard, and now, yeah, this is supposed to be a liner lock. Anyways, he stopped locking up. And I thought, okay, well, you know what? I will just take him apart and I will, see if I can work on the lock face or the, just kind of fix the geometry of the lock. Which, as you could tell, I was unable to do. I will say, though, when I went in there, the lock face here was just full of scratches. Just these deep gouges. Don't know what that was about, but it was ugly. Pretty decent fidget knife now. But yeah, and now this knife is, the warranty's void. So, yeah, this is turning out to be not so fun. Man, it hurt my fingers too. Yeah, not a big fan. But we'll keep struggling and see if we come up with anything. Okay, so I finally got everything to align fairly well. Or did I? Nope, I didn't. So, get out, you. So here's what's happening here. Oh. See how this is crooked? It's because this part is pushing it up in a weird way where it won't sit flat again. So what that does, it pushes this screw kind of this way at a weird angle, which means that the rest of this knife doesn't want to align the way that it should. You know, that pin should just slide into that hole. Well, I really did think I had it this time. Guess not. And see, this thing has to be pushed all the way back there so it's not sticking up. Jeez. It's not like I'm inexperienced at taking apart backlocks. Heck, I was planning on taking apart this guy for cleanup either this evening or tomorrow as well. I've taken apart a bunch of cold steels. Okay, so see we can snap these into place. Yeah, the alignment is getting off. Okay then. Okay, so here's what I've decided to do: is to put this guy together kind of like an axis, like you would an axis lock knife. So I took the pivot out, and I left it like this, and that keeps the lock bar flat the way it should be. I mean, look at this. You see, it's flat. It's not slanted anymore. So then I just screwed that in. So what we're going to want to do now is shove this down, and let's actually get... Do I want to put this Teflon washer back in? Actually, I'm going to see if I can get away without putting that Teflon washer back in. I mean, it's not like I'm worried about voiding the warranty anymore, huh? Okay, so we're going to want to take this. Okay, so let's start the pivot through there. Keep everything on screen so you guys can see. So D shape is down, I believe. Let's lift this up and see again. That lined up. We'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I forced the pivot through. Now we want to back it out just a little bit, not all the way, so we can get the washers in there. And the blade, of course. It'll come out just a little bit. I think these washers are already pretty well lubed up. Get on there. And there. Hold that for a sec. This is a very strong spring. I will tell you that right now. Okay. Pull it back slightly. Let's balance. Both those washers on there. We'll be right back again. Whew, boy. Okay. We got it back together. This was not fun. I'll be straight up honest with you guys. This was not fun. I've assembled and disassembled mini lockbacks, and this was not fun. Centering, I still have some work to do. It's not perfectly centered. I did leave out that Teflon washer from before, so that might be why it's not perfectly centered. And I also think that's actually hitting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's hitting there now. I don't know why. I have absolutely no idea why it would be. Alright, so I was able to fix his issue where he was hitting the back. Turns out that little stop pin in there was had fallen out, and I had not realized it. And the reason it fell out was because it's literally just a bar of metal that is held in by the scales, just open holes here. So it slipped out without me realizing it. As opposed to it being a stop pin like this that has the grooves on top and bottom that kind of, help it sit in place, doesn't allow it to slip out. So, yeah, the disassembly of this guy, will definitely have some effects on my review of him. But, yeah, so here's that. Action, maybe a little bit stiffer than it was before, which is unusual. Jeez, yeah, I'm almost positive that is hitting somewhere. In fact, we're going to put my little flashlight. There we go. Let's look and see if we can see any evidence of that. But on the edge, no idea, but that just... To be honest, I like this knife a little less than I did before I tried to disassemble it. Maybe that's just because I had a bad day today, but geez. It's locked up solid right now. The action, though, is... I mean, it never was a really... It never had, like, a fast action before. I will say, though, this is very disappointing. I just wanted to take this knife apart and clean it, and now... I mean, the disassembly was terrible, but besides that, the warranty is now void on this knife. So... I don't know. Positives, I mean, it's a great design. It really is. Ergos are really, really nice. The pocket clip is amazing. The blade is really good, too. Nice and slicey. Oh, boy, this is just a pain in the butt, though. It really was. I mean, I guess the best way to test to see if that edge is getting damaged is to, like, cut some paper. Let's see if that edge is indeed hitting the back of the knife anywhere. Just cut this off. This knife does live up to its name. It's very, very slicey. So let's start back here. A little bit of a hiccup there. Maybe that was just me. I do think there's a catch right there, actually. I can't... Well, yeah, there we go, right there. See that little spot there that's getting a little bit flattened? Yep, I'll be darned. Why is that happening? This is, I don't know, this is just bad. This screw here is free spinning. Oh, jeez. So if you're going to get this knife, just don't get it dirty. And don't ever think about having to clean it out or anything. Well, that is kind of disappointing. Maybe I'll mess around with him more, see if I can fix him, but I don't think so. Anyways, what else is coming up on this channel? I have everything for April already filmed. This guy's getting a review. I'm going to be filming the review of the CGRB Mylea soon. Really like this knife. This is a really cool knife. Been carrying him pretty much non-stop. As well as the Civivi Riffle will be coming up eventually. I was carrying this guy more than him for a while there, but yeah. Now we'll see. And actually I'm hoping to do some not knife content on here coming up. A little bit of a hint. Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you all for watching. I've been Gideon Stuff. Bye now.